Something we mention often on the show, Rams, is that a book is a slow burn. Is that just a bad thing? Like, is there a case where a
Slow
slow burn
burn.
is kind of a positive spin on a book?
Only if you already know it's going to be good. This is at least the way that done it myself. So if I know because somebody else has said this book is worth it, trust me, do it. It's a slow burn, but then I'll stick around. I'll stick through. And other than that, it's got to be that I already know the characters from like a previous book or, this is the second or third in a series. So I'm already invested. There's got to be some reason why I'm sticking around because I don't like thinking of slow burn as just the another way of saying it's boring, but let's see what happens.
It's not just that the book is slow. Is that it's slow, but it's worth it, right? It's not
Yeah.
slow. It actually has a flame there. There's something worth. There's some warmth that you can pick up on.
Yeah, and actually that's a good interesting point because there are books that don't like even though they have an actual climax, like somewhere where the plot thickens, it there are books that don't do that, right? Like that they do it, but it's not like a huge moment that you're leading up to. It's still just like a softer ride or journey or a very long book. Like in a 35-hour book, are you really getting that one moment of like, oh my gosh, it was worth it for this part
Sometimes that happens though.
in a
Sometimes books
35-hour
really
book?
do. It's really just a proper build up and a proper build up like that.
Wow.
That said, I think everybody has their own tolerance for how much of a slow burn they're willing to tolerate, right? Because, and I bring it back to the initial question to say that it's a slow burn. I don't exactly take that as a compliment. It seems like a backhanded compliment, right? It's
Yeah.
good, but it's slow.
It's
And
slow.
does anybody love slow-paced books? I would love to know, like genuinely, because I'm not a huge fan of super slow-paced books.
But then you also read really long books. Like you've sat
Just
down
because a
for
book,
hours and hours and hours.
but just because a book is long, that
Doesn't mean it's
doesn't
slow.
mean that it's slow. Some books are
So
very
what is slow
dense
then?
like that.
Tell me what slow is to
Slow
you.
is when an author is not afraid to lean into the small moments and the conversations that don't directly push the plot forward and only develop characters or develop the world or develop the magic system or something like
I
that.
think Stephen King does that in It. Have you read It?
No, I haven't.
It takes place in a small town in Maine, and a lot of the book you're just kind of chilling. You're chilling with characters as they go through life. There are a lot of flashbacks and flash forwards. No, like, back to the present moment. You're getting to know background, like detailed background of characters. Each and every character, you get to know why they are the way they are, what the hell happened to them in their life that they are this way. You get plot, but I wouldn't even say it's the primary part of this book.
When you're reading a book, you're not just reading one story. It's almost always going to be a web of stories that come together into
Yes.
this volume that you're reading, right? And I think the authors that write slow books, they lean more heavily into those side plots, those side stories, and they all come together to tell a grander narrative. The fast-paced writers, like Dan Brown, it's all about the main plot.
Yeah.
No B plot whatsoever.
You're
Just
just
get
pushing
right
the
to
plot
point.
forward.
Like
That's
a
the
movie,
intention.
basically.
Yeah. I guess that's interesting. Yeah. So we've kind of divided it into two, right? Does slow burn really mean that we're focusing on the present moment and you can kind of take your time, milk the characters, milk the world? Or is it just that the author's not doing it well, so it's slow before he gets to the good parts?
Yeah. Good authors are milkers.
Sure.
Show me the milk.
Don't show me the milk. I'm happy not to see the milk.
Okay.